Hello friends, welcome back. Today I'm on here because I want to film a sort of a requested video. I have a few followers here that are in their last year of high school, senior year, and prom is coming up. So I was asked to film a few prom looks. So this will be my first one. And to be honest with you guys, I went to high school a very long time ago. When we went to high school, it was a full face of makeup, foundation this thick, eyes, everything. I know girls these days are not into that, as they shouldn't be, because they have beautiful skin and there's no wrinkles and they're just gorgeous, shining, glowing from within. So there's absolutely no need for that. I, fun fact, did not go to my prom. I had fun story about me. I had at that time just broken up with my boyfriend and I didn't end up going to prom. But I know now everybody just goes all together with friends and whatnot, and it's a fun event. So I want to do my version of a prom look. It's going to be very pretty. I have a look in mind. I hope you like it. If you want to see what it will look and maybe how it will look and maybe get some inspiration, keep on watching. All right, so first and foremost, we have to prep the face, right? Even though we're not going to be using a thick layer of foundation and a lot of it, we still need to prep the face. We still need to make sure that the makeup lasts throughout the night because we're going to be dancing, we're going to be having fun, right? So I'm going to use a glowy primer because I want to glow if I were going to the prom this time around. So I'm going to be using this Milk Makeup HydroGrip glow primer, and I'm going to put that all over my face. And I have used this obviously before because I have it, and it does make my foundation last quite a while, and it gives me a glow. So my face is nice and tacky. Even though we're not going to be using a thick layer of foundation, we don't have much to cover. I mean, I do, but I'm assuming the girls, the beautiful, youthful girls these days don't have much to cover, but we still want to use a good quality foundation, right? So there's lots of foundations on the market, drugstore, whatever. I happen to have this Tom Ford one, and I don't actually use it that often, but I want to use it today for this look. And I'm going to use I'm going to start off with a brush, but I will go over everything with a foundation with a sponge after, just to even everything out. Now this is, from what I remember, I don't know why I don't use this foundation often, but this is a full coverage foundation. However, it has a weird smell. Everything to me has a weird smell today, but it doesn't translate on the face. So it is a full coverage foundation. Don't forget those ears, ladies and gents, and whoever chooses to use makeup. But it is so light and really does look like second skin on the face. And that's why I really like this foundation. It is extremely expensive, and I don't think worth the money that Tom Ford wants to charge for it, but it is Tom Ford, you know, so take it for what it is. But we want something that is able to cover whatever imperfections you might have, but you still want the foundation to be light, right? You still want your skin to look like your skin, especially when you're, you know, 17, 18 years old and you have, again, beautiful skin. I had beautiful skin when I was younger. I mean, blemishes and all, but you know, age takes its toll. B, sun takes its toll. So remember, sunscreen. All my spots are from the sun. I started using the sunscreen on my face too late. Before, I used to tan my face all the time. I used to go to tanning salons. Horrible, but I digress. Anyway, so this foundation is on, and I do not feel it on my face. And I think that's the beauty of this particular Tom Ford foundation, is that it is, even though it's full coverage, it is still so kind of thin. The consistency is so thin that you don't really feel it on your face. So let's go in. You know what? Let me do my bronzer first. And I do want to put on a little bit of this Charlotte Tilbury contour wand in fair medium. And I'm going to do a little bit higher than, this is where my bone is. I'm going to do a little bit higher because I don't want it to go so low. And I'm going to work with one side at a time because this contour stick kind of dries real quick on me. So I know I've complained about it before. No need to complain about it again. You know my feelings on it. But I do like the way it looks. I mean, you can obviously use whatever contour stick you have on hand, but this is my version of a light prom look. Prom, homecoming, whatever. We want our skin to glow and be beautiful, but we also want our makeup to last all night, right? We still want it to last. We want to make sure that nothing is melting off when we're dancing, nothing is moving around, all that fun stuff. You don't want to look like a hot mess by the end of the night or by the middle of the night, you know. We don't want to look a hot mess. Okay. So contour is done and I'm going to leave it at that. Now let's move on to our concealer. Concealer I'm using today is the Giorgio Armani Power Fabric. I think it is Power Fabric. Yes, Power Fabric. Now, girls that are of prom and homecoming age don't need much concealer, right? They're not raising children, hopefully. Well, I'm not judging, but their kids are not keeping them up at night. They don't have the stresses of life. Basically, what I'm trying to say is they don't have baggage under those eyes. So they don't need much to cover, only if, let's say, they have some blemishes or whatnot. And I'll go over what to do with that. But I need a lot of concealer, so I'm putting it on just so you guys can see the look and how it comes together. But, you know, try to use as little coverage as you can. And I'm going to use, see, the only issue that I have with this foundation is that when it comes to concealer, it kind of, actually no, it's working out. Sometimes I feel like this foundation, the concealer is removing the foundation underneath, but today is not the case, and I do probably attribute that to the Milk Makeup primer underneath. Okay, my skin is looking lovely. And normally I wouldn't spend an hour and a half just kind of making sure my foundation is nice, but it is a special occasion. So we're going to spend that extra few minutes just blending everything in and making sure that everything is beautifully on. So everything is gorgeous. Now what I want to do before I go on and start putting my eyes on and my blush and my contour and all of that, I want to spray my face with a little bit of setting powder, setting spray, because in this situation where you need your makeup to last all night and you need it to be beautiful, I personally, when I'm in that type of, when I'm going out and I need my makeup to last forever, I layer my setting spray. So in this case, before I go on with everything, I would do a little setting spray. I'm not going anywhere tonight. This is just for you guys. I will leave that out. But after, if you're doing your prom makeup or your homecoming, try to use a setting spray in between steps. So right now would be the perfect time. But I'm moving on to a little bit of powder under my eyes. And the powder I'm going to use is my Givenchy. That is no longer the same, but you could use whatever powder you use to set under your eyes. Now, my eyes are pretty nicely set, and this concealer really doesn't move that much around me. But I will just set around a little bit. And this foundation is pretty much dry, so I'm just gonna use a tiny little bit. If I was doing this makeup for myself, I would be on my 42-year-old skin. I would be baking. I would be making sure that all my wrinkles and creases are set and not going anywhere, but my prom and homecoming peoples don't need that because, you know, you all have beautiful skin, as I said before. So I'm just going to set a little bit around. That's all I'm gonna do. And now I want to use, no, what I'm going to do is I'm going to move on to the eyes, and I'm going to let this settle in before I go in with my powder bronzer and my powder blush. Let's go into the eye. My eye is going to be simple yet beautiful. I know that the youth of today are not doing the whole smoky, blown out silver eyes. So I wanted to do a very beautiful lavender eye. And for that, I'm going to use this ILIA liquid powder matte eye tint in the color Aster. So first I'm going to move you in closer. Hello, hi. And I'm gonna, up. Okay, I'm moving you in closer. And oopsie, what I want to do first is I want to put in a little bit of a crease color, and I'm gonna use my bronzer for that. Nothing special, no special eyeshadow. I know I had a little, okay, here we go. I'm going to just, the bronzer that I'm using is the Hourglass, and I'm gonna go in and just lightly put a little crease, and I'm kind of pulling it out because I do want to do a liner. So my eye is not going to be insanely intricate, but it is going to be beautiful, and I think it's very appropriate for prom and homecoming and whatever else event. I think it's important to keep in mind that you do want kind of, well, I want a cohesive look. So if I were going to prom today, I would probably have nicely tan skin, probably a purple lavender, something light dress. So I went with the lavender eye look. Okay, now I'm going to take this is what it looks like, and I'm going to use a tiny amount, and then I'm going to spread that, the same brush. I don't want a lot of it on, but I also don't really know how it's going to act on the eye. Look at how pretty that is. Put a little bit more on. Okay. It's blending in beautifully, and it's exactly the type of color that I wanted. It's exactly that soft lavender color, and I'm going in on top of the previous layer. I'm layering it, and it's layering beautifully. So just in case you were wondering about these, I know ILIA recently came out with stick eyeshadows, but I'm not uber big on stick eyeshadows. I like them fine, but I don't really, ooh, I just touched it and took a little off, so we'll put a little more on. And spread, spread, spread. Okay, so I really like the way this is blending, and I blended it out. See? Okay, put it a little more up. Now let's go to this eye, and we'll start the same way. And on this eye, I'm going to be bringing it up a little more because this eye is a little bit more hooded for me. Okay. So here's what I am. The eyeshadow is looking beautiful, but weird enough, it's kind of burning my eyelid. Has anybody ever experienced? I've experienced that with a few cream liquid shadows before. It stops and then it doesn't like really irritate my eye or anything like that, but it does burn a little bit. Could be the alcohol in it, I don't know. But this one is done. It's not hurting, it's not irritating. So I'm gonna go back into the bronzer and just put a little bit more on. That's it. Okay, now what I want to do is I want to take a liner, a liquid liner, and I'm going to do a little swoop of the line, eyeliner. And I cannot, my eyes are hooded, so I cannot really do a crazy liner, but if you have beautifully open eyes, I would bring that eyeliner out. I'm gonna try a little bit. So I don't often wear eyeliner because, again, my eye is hooded, but I do love the look of a nice hooded, nice swooped out eyeliner. It is very beautiful, I think, on girls who especially have like a nice open lid. But look how beautiful this is. So before I go in on the other eye, I just came up with this. I want to take this eyeshadow and I want to kind of line the underneath a little bit. Put a little bit under there. And for you guys, I'm gonna do something special today. Okay. Moving on to eye number 2, and I'm gonna need to concentrate on this one a little bit because this eye is a little bit differently shaped than the other one. So I have to be a little bit more careful with this eye. It has to be sorry. Oh, I have to concentrate on this one more, and it has to be thinner because this eye is a little bit more hooded. See? Okay, I don't know if I said this before, but this is the NYX Professional Makeup Epic Ink Liner in Glitz. It's a gray, and it does have a little it does have a little glitter in it, but you don't really see it on the eye, so I don't know why they even put it in. But we're gonna go in and we're going to put a little of this purple lavender shadow underneath here. Okay. All right, now the piece de resistance, if you say. I'm taking this Fenty Beauty Diamond Balm in How Many Carats, and I love to use this on the eyes because I love that the glitter in this doesn't have a base on it and it's really just glitter. So I'm going to put a little bit on And it's going all the way up like that. And that, my friends, is it for the eyes. That is it. Let me go off camera, put on my mascara and my eyebrows, and we'll be right back to finish off this makeup look. All right, eyebrows and mascara are on. So this look for me is missing lashes. Now, I don't ever wear lashes. I don't ever wear falsies, but for you guys, I feel like I should. And I bought these, I went to TJ Maxx the other day, and I bought these, I don't even know what company this is. Pearlescence Lashes for Days, Wispies, and this is what they look like. And I actually even got lash glue, Ardell lash adhesive. I don't remember the last time I wore lashes, so don't mind if I'm not that good at it. Forgive moi, but I will try to put one on for you guys on camera. Oof, this stinks. I would much rather use a lash serum and grow out my lashes than use falsies. The sun is going in and out. I'm so sorry, but here we are. Let's try it. I don't even remember how to do this, guys. I don't remember how to put on lashes. And of course I started with the eye that I'm least comfortable with. Let's get on this struggle bus with me. I'll be honest with you, I am not a fan of like lash extensions. I am not a fan of that look. I did it once and I will probably never do it again. I don't know why this one is not sticking. I probably didn't put enough glue on there. But I'm not a fan of that look. I think it looks... Oh, I didn't put enough glue on here, guys. I don't like the way that looks on anybody. I'm gonna get a lot of hate for this, I know. But unless it's done extremely minimally, it just looks weird to me. It looks like you have tarantulas on your eyebrows, on your eyelashes. It does not look good to me. And then you could tell like when it, I don't know, it's just not for me. But I have seen it done really nicely where it's like very, very minimal. But I stick with my natural lashes, and if I need to have them look va-va-voom, I use a lash serum, but I haven't needed it. But you do you, boo. All right, I think I did it. Look at that. Woo! I'm gonna go off camera to do the other one and we'll be right back. Friends, the lashes are on. I hope you appreciate the things I do for you. Let's finish off the face. So I have my bronzer, which is the Ambient Radiant Bronzer by Hourglass, and we're gonna bronze up that skin. And I love this bronzer because it's not too cool and it's not too warm. It's just not too neutral. I don't know, this bronzer is just perfection. Perfection, in my humble opinion. And it's glowy, you know, it's not super glowy, but it's glowy enough where it makes your skin just beautiful. Okay, get the ears, don't forget the hairline, don't forget the... Okay, moving on to blush. And for blush, I want to use this new SAIE pink blush, even though I do have a purple blush, well, a lavender blush from Dior. But I really wanted to try this pink one because I feel like the face is just so muted with the eyes and everything. It needs a little bit of a pop. So this is the new one from Sephora that I just got, and I want to be very careful with it. Oh, look at that. Look at how stinking pretty that is. Wow. And it has a little bit of a glow, so I don't even think you need a highlighter. So I am not going to use a highlighter, guys. Oh, shocker. Look at how beautiful that is. Wow. Wow. My kitty cat. What's up, girl? All right. Gorgeous. All right. The face is done. Let's just do the lips and we are done with this look. So for the lips, you can go with anyway. I want to make them nice and juicy and pink. So I'm going to use this r.e.m. Beauty Lip Gloss that turns a beautiful pink color, but I want to give it a little bit of a liner. So I'm going to use MAC Stripdown. I cannot really talk during this process. I'm gonna put just a little bit and kind of blend it out with my hand, finger. So this is it for the lip liner. Watch the magic. It's blue and goes on blue, but in a tiny little second it'll turn this beautiful pink. Of course, we do some setting spray and we are done with our prom look. I think it turned out so pretty. It is dressy enough, it is va-va-voom enough, but also very what's the word I'm looking for? It's very ethereal, it's very light and airy, just like the youth of today is. Very beautiful, very light, not too much makeup, but dressy enough for a prom. You could, you know, tone it down if you want to. You could bring it up if you want to. When I think of prom now and going to the prom now, this is exactly, I'm just looking in the mirror, this is exactly the type of look that I would go for. And let me know, what do you guys think? Did it turn out nice? Do you guys like it? Let me know if you want any more looks. I might film just one more prom look with maybe a bronzy gold theme, or maybe a green theme, which is my other favorite color. Let me know if you want it. If you're new here, hello and welcome. Please don't forget to subscribe. I really appreciate you. And of course, don't forget to like and comment, and I will see you in the next one. Bye.